Welcome to all our viewers at slooh.com, those watching on social media, and especially to all those watching on NASA TV. Today is the culmination of Spooky Week as we discuss potentially hazardous asteroid 2015 TB145, or Spooky, as it makes its closest approach to Earth. Literally, I think less than 20 seconds away from it making its closest approach. And we've been very clear on this, Bob. This is not a threat to Earth either today or in the future, this particular asteroid. We've been saying the real story here is that an object of this size was discovered only 21 days before making its closest approach right at this very moment. At this second, this asteroid is the closest to Earth than it's ever going to be. I mean, what do you make of all of this, Bob? The real story behind this?
Well, a couple of them you've already mentioned. That how does this not get seen? An object this large, half a mile is large. This is so much bigger than the one that injured 1,000 people back on February 15th of 2013, and passing as close as the moon. That's close. You know, we do these shows, and if an asteroid is a million miles away, that's close. This is really close. I think another story is how come it won't be a future hazard? Because usually if you're going to pass this quickly, this close to us, this kind of speed and this kind of proximity, it means that on some future orbit, it may get perturbed a little bit, and it could be a hazard to us. So the calculations show that as far as we can see, it will not hit us. So that's reassuring and also makes it a little odd, frankly.
We've all seen the asteroid comet. We've discussed the science and the potential risks, and we know all about how we track asteroids. But what we don't know yet is how those who find the largest number of near-Earth objects feel about the program. We're joined now by Near-Earth Object Program Executive Lindley Johnson at NASA by phone to discuss NASA's program as it is and their plans for the future. Welcome to the show, Lindley. The budget for the Near-Earth Object Program has increased dramatically in just the last few years. What's been the main driver, Lindley, behind that increase in funding?
Well, it is the government, U.S. government, realizing that this is a hazard, serious hazard that we need to be looking at, tracking, and so we're able to determine whether there is anything out there that is a impact hazard in the next few years, so that we find it enough years in advance that we're able to do something about it before it does have a devastating impact.
Which is absolutely key, and this is some of the theme of today's show. It's about finding these objects, with sufficient time so we can mitigate the impact. We've never been suggesting that Spooky, the asteroid, is going to impact Earth, but the real story is that a rock this size, large enough to actually make it through the atmosphere and impact the surface of the Earth, was only discovered 3 weeks before making its closest approach to Earth. Now, should we be treating asteroids in the same way that we treat natural disasters like hurricanes or earthquakes? In other words, we know that there's nothing that we can do about them, but if we know that they're going to happen early enough, we can mitigate the impact. Excuse that term. If one of these beasts does come our way.
Well, I think the difference between asteroids and other natural disasters is we can do something about them if we have enough warning. Now, 3 weeks warning isn't enough to deflect an asteroid or keep it from impacting, but it's certainly enough warning to evacuate people and get them out of harm's way. Now, this would be an enormous evacuation to get people out of the large area that would be destroyed by something of this size, but not unprecedented. I mean, we evacuate people from the paths of tropical cyclones all the time. Earthquakes you can't do anything about. Earthquakes you fundamentally cannot predict, and so the death toll from earthquakes tends to be very high when they're in places where people are concentrated. But even 3 weeks warning for an asteroid this size, you could save a lot of people by evacuation.
Yeah.